What is that? This is pretty scary. This goes so hard. The animation is incredible too. Is this solo leveling? Like, what is this? Not the J-pop dance or K-pop dance. Not the moe moe. This is so dramatic. Oh, this is so fun. Enemies to lovers, perhaps? Holy shit, that thing is huge. Is that a chicken? Oh, that's real. That's so cool. I'm not gonna lie, I almost started crying. That was that was a really nice one to end on. My eyes are watery right now. That was a really beautiful ending. Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out 10 endings from the year of 2024, the year that has either just passed or we're currently about to finish. I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted, but we are checking out endings, 10 endings in fact, which will cover winter until spring of 2024, so the first half of the year. And those 10 endings are going to be related to series that were in the previous video with the openings. I don't know which series are going to be included here, but from what I understand, it's all going to be series that we did check out openings for in the previous video. There's not really much more to say. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know down below which of these endings was your favorite. Any endings you're surprised weren't included in this list that were released in winter and spring of 2024. And if there's anything you're surprised maybe isn't here yet, if it was released later in the year, that's why it'll maybe be included in the next list, which will be coming soon. If you guys want to be here when I do stream these recordings live, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Jasmer. The link to that is in the description below. I have a gaming channel, link to that is in the description below. My Twitter, link to that also in the description below. Follow me on all those places to stay updated when anything really happens. And yeah, with that said, I am now ready to check out ending number 1. Let's go. Here we go. Dungeon Meshi is back. I really like the kind of art style. It's like a volume cover almost. Or maybe these are like little color pages that were included. Little calico cat. Really getting a sense for the personalities of the characters here and their how they might act outside of dungeon diving. Oh, is that Frieren? Aw. It's so cute. Big dragon! Holy shit! Oh, those the manticores? Oh, Senshi's there too. Marcel's just so tired. So this is probably the original cast. Oh, that was a really fun ending. So this is probably right here, the original dungeon diving group that traveled together before. Some of them went missing, some of them potentially died, and Frieren was captured and taken away. It's a very fun chill song, absolutely. It was just a really good, like, vibey song. There's no, like, bad words you can say about the song at all. It's just a nice little wind down song for the end of an episode. I don't know how the series actually is. I can't imagine it's a very dark series, but I imagine at the end of an episode, it's just a really fun ending to round things out. You know, it's probably a little feel-good series, and so to just have this play right at the end is probably just the cap on top, the little feather in the cap, I guess you could say. This is Dungeon Meshi's ending Party by okay. Ryokuoushoku Shakai, Apothecary Diaries Opening 1. Oh, that's really cool. The illustrations are all by the original manga author Ryokuoushoku. That's really cool. Speaking of Ryoku, we get that in the title of the artist who did this song as well. So that's really cool. As in they are all new for this ending. Ah, that's cool. I would have assumed, because I have seen a couple of the volume covers for this series, and they do look, you know, like this art style, this kind of coloration. Like it's got this kind of textured look to it with the watercolor look, I guess. It's just got this really unique and fresh look for volume covers and for a manga series when it comes to like the color pages. So I just would have guessed that these were either volume covers or little color pages that were included in the first couple of pages for those volumes. So to hear that these are all original, that's actually really exciting, because I wonder if this was after they finished writing the end of the series. Like, I don't know if this first ending released while Dungeon Meshi was currently wrapping up in the manga, or if this released after the manga finished. Because if it was after the manga finished, that's pretty exciting for fans to get to see new art from the actual manga author, especially like going back to as far as this first ending does. This was after the manga finished. That's really cool. That means that the manga author got to go all the way back to the beginning and draw the characters from probably episode 1, you know, like Falin, Loish, Liosh, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Lios. It's a hard one to pronounce. Getting to see them all traveling together again is just really fun, I'm sure, for people who enjoy the series. In general, I do think that this is a really fun little ending, and one that really just encapsulates the feeling of togetherness and camaraderie, friendship, joyful, overwhelmingly joyful feelings, and these just feelings of good times and nothing negative at all, despite the fact that, you know, there are pretty overwhelming odds, I would say, stacked against our main characters, our group of characters that are diving into this dungeon and trying to recover Falin or Phelan. I think that it's really nice to see that despite all that, the characters don't lose themselves. They don't lose their sense of selves. They don't lose the personalities that make them who they are, and they're able to shine and still have fun and do what they love, you know, in this. Well, maybe not what they love. I'm sure some characters like Senshi maybe loves it, but Marcel, I don't think she enjoys it at all. She looks like she is just ready to run at any moment, but she doesn't hide. She still continues and she still goes on with it. In a way, it's like she's got traits of Aqua from Konosuba, but also not at all. You know, she's definitely probably much more willing to follow than Aqua probably is. The artwork is incredible. It's so beautiful. I love the watercolor look and the amount of detail that they're able to put into shots like these, little frames showing like the beauty of the world that they inhabit, but then also showcasing the personalities. Like, we see Lloyd wake up tired, kind of like a mess around him, I would say. So he's maybe a little disorganized. He's not exactly the most trustworthy when it comes to organizing or planning things, perhaps. That might be evident in the fact that he took everyone into a dungeon without any funds, without any food, with nothing. He's just kind of taking them along and hoping that everything will line up, I guess, opposed to having a concrete plan. And then a little Chilchuk, I don't really know what's happening here, but he looks like he's just an outsider almost, or someone who just watches from a distance, just takes his time, doesn't really get involved in things that he doesn't need to, perhaps. Marcel, just a fun little gal. She's there, she's doing some shopping, she's making the shopkeeper smile. I don't know if that's because of her personality or because the shopkeeper wants to sell something to her, but she just looks like she's a little ray of light. The fact that the shopkeeper's in darkness, she's at the forefront in light. Then Phelan making friends with a seagull, perhaps, smiling with a little flower in her hand and staring out into this beautiful world with all this greenery surrounding her, this beauty surrounding her. So I imagine she's a very colorful, joyful, bright character who just brings a lot of fun energy to the group, despite the fact that she has been captured. And then this little, is this a dwarf? Dwarf female? She looks like she's just there to do the job, there to get paid, and she doesn't want to do it, and she's just drinking her little alcohol right there. So yeah, overall, like, it's just a fun series. The samurai guy just looks like he's out of his element, so he's maybe someone who's just always on edge, perhaps, or something, I don't know. And then seeing the group all smiling together, it's just pure joy. It's so much fun, and I just want to know more about these characters. I want to dive into this world that they inhabit and just like experience what they're experiencing. I want to see the journey that they go through, and yeah, it's just so much fun. It's a really fun little song. It's so like heartwarming, the song. The visuals are heartwarming. It really just does encapsulate what I imagine the series is. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe the series does have some darkness to it that I'm not aware of, but everything that I've seen seen or heard about this series just makes it sound like a really, really fun one, and one that anyone can get behind and enjoy. But with that said, I might already be ready to move on to ending number 2. I feel like I said my piece about the series yesterday, so I'm really just here today to analyze the endings, I guess, or say what I can interpret from those endings alone. Also, Ryokuoushoku Shakai, I think I would rather say quintessential quintuplets than that. Holy shit, I actually got that first time. Alright, here we go. Ending number 2. What is that? Oh, I really like the visuals for this ending a lot. I love this like old TV look. Ah, find the locker. What's behind the door? This is pretty scary. Oh, I love the 3D in this too. Oh. That 3D looks amazing, actually. Holy shit. This goes so hard. The animation is incredible too. Is this solo leveling? Like, what is this? It is solo leveling, okay. That was insane, holy shit. First of all, the visuals for this ending, the song for this ending, that was insane. That was like, honestly, some of, I want to say like trippiest, but also like kind of disturbing. It just really had this feeling of creepiness, and it made me feel on edge, I guess. Like, it felt like, you know, we were being watched. It was very Truman Show-esque. It was pretty, what is it, Backrooms-esque as well. Like, there were just all these different ideas thrown in there. It was reminding me of the first opening, the only opening actually we checked out for summer rendering. It felt really out of left field for solo leveling, but you were down for it. Yeah, no, honestly, like I was going to say towards the end of when I was talking about this is going to take a lot to beat right here. Like, this is so far from what I've seen, which is not a lot. I have not seen a lot of anime this year. This is maybe the 4th or 5th anime ending that I've seen this year. This is already like my favorite ending of the year. But that could change. There are more that we're going to be checking out throughout this video and the next one. Krage singer, she is half Japanese and Chinese. Oh, that's really cool. She did a phenomenal job here. This was so insane. The song is Request. He's abandoned Dandadan already. The Dandadan ending's really fun, but I really like the Dandadan ending for sure. But there's also like, I did also really like the Kaiju number 8 ending, and I would maybe slightly position that Kaiju number 8 ending over Dandadan's ending. Personally, I just thought that Kaiju number 8 ending brought a real feeling of the fun and camaraderie of the series, which is my favorite part of Kaiju number 8 when I'm reading it. It's the characters and the fun feelings that those characters bring, the relationships that they bring. I feel like that ending really brought that kind of feeling, which is my favorite part of the whole series. So that's why I really enjoyed that Kaiju ending. Dandadan's ending I think is great too. I love that it showcases the little mini stories that take place after some of the manga volumes about Turbo Granny finding the cat and everything. There's also the One Piece ending that I've seen as well from this year, but it's a nice song, but visually it's not really got a whole lot going on. This ending right here, this ending is absolutely incredible. It has this really cool look to it. I'll be honest, I saw this shot right here while I was like watching it at the very beginning, and it's not a series I've read, but it's a series I plan to read. I had the first volume. I thought this was like 20th Century Boys related, and I was like, nah, it can't be. There's no 20th Century Boys anime, because I know that there's a character that kind of has this eye thing anyway. Yeah, the look of this opening, you know, having this really 2D and 3D look, the fact that it's the whole opening is 4:3 and we focus a lot on these TVs that we see, the character is being watched. I wonder if this is our main character right here. I would imagine so, but I don't know then what is happening here. Is he the kind of subject of some sort of experiment? They're watching him, they're seeing exactly what he does. It's being done in this really creepy way. He seems to be aware of the camera, but at the same time he just gets on with it. At the same time, it's not comparable whatsoever, but it's also reminding me of Old Boy, like in the sense that he's being held here against his will. Oh, you said Old Boy as well. He's in the Old Boy rooms. It's making me think of Old Boy in the sense that he knows he's being watched, but he can't do anything about it. But at the same time, maybe this opening is just, or I keep saying opening. I very rarely check out endings in this channel, so if I say opening, you know I mean ending. I don't know if this ending is more metaphoric and that none of this even takes place, none of this is at all relevant or important for what happens in the series itself. The fact that that Pinecino said when we were checking out the opening that this series is one that really shines in its hand-to-hand combat, I think he said. So the fact that we see no combat in this opening at all, and it's really just focusing on the dismay and the awful things and the just real creepy vibes that are happening within this, it's just really cool to me. The opening for Solo Leveling I thought was insane. I thought the animation looked incredible. I thought the song was amazing. But this ending right here, this is what's selling me on this series. And I don't know if this ending is at all comparable to what you see in the series at all. But this ending right here is honestly, it's selling me really hard already on the series. I just love the creepy vibes. It's the exact reason why I really want to watch Summertime Rendering, because it also gave me these vibes and this real feeling of unsettlement, this real feeling of being unsettled, and just this deeper mystery that isn't tackled but is there and it's present, and you can maybe start to analyze and figure out some of the mysteries and just stuff like that. It really gives me that sense, and I absolutely adore that about this, because I'm someone who loves to theorize. I'm someone who loves to just sit down and try and figure out the mysteries of what's happening. Images like this with a tree in a room, like that's creepy as hell. I don't know what that's about. It's like, it doesn't even look like it's growing out of the ground. It's just like placed there. It's just making me really want to know more about this. I do love the 3D that was incorporated in this ending. I love the look of the character. He just looks really straight-faced and just getting on with it. He doesn't really question it by the looks of things. But at the same time, like once he's in this hallway and the lyrics are asking, "Mirror, mirror, are you the truth?" and he sees a matchlight, he's just staring down this endless hallway. It's giving Eden's Garden vibe. Yeah, you can say that, absolutely. Just this lone tree, absolutely, yeah. And then we see this other character who's watching all these TVs, seeing all these different visuals that we saw within the ending itself, and suddenly the tree lights up, it's on fire, and it's kind of symbolic of the sense of that there's no freedom, beauty in nature is gone, it's dead, and it's just now this blue screen, static, and he just starts to run, he's screaming, he's distraught, he's got those kind of like the eyes that, you know, those bug eyes that you see in anime. Like, I'm picturing Shinji in End of Evangelion, you know, screaming. That's what I see when I see these kind of like bug eyes, these crazy look. The lyrics, "What level in a dungeon I can't escape." I guess also like Solo Leveling, the fact that he's solo in this kind of apartment complex, whatever it is, and he's going through the different levels of the apartment. Maybe that's kind of like a double entendre, I guess, of like Solo leveling, Solo going through the levels, the lyrics talking about what level, calling this place a dungeon. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that you left it vague and didn't give me the answer as to how he leveled up, and I didn't want to know the answer either, as in how he got to the point that he's at. But I can only wonder if this ending then is also metaphoric, and that this whole going through the levels is part of that metaphor. But at the same time, I can't imagine it is, because it's so unique and so like telling a story that I can't imagine it's all metaphoric. It has to be telling us something. He's trying to reach a door, and right as the door opens, we see the title of the series, solo leveling. And yeah, absolutely incredible, phenomenal ending right here. This is going to be a very hard one to beat. I thought the Dungeon Meshi ending we just checked out was really fun, but this as a whole package ending, this feels like it had a lot of production and a lot of creativity behind it, and I really love this ending a lot. This is making me want to check out the series. I think we are now ready to move on to ending number 3 and see what it is we get. I guess if there is some inspiration from Old Boy for solo leveling, I don't know if there is, that would be then pretty cool, because one of the big scenes that everyone remembers from Old Boy is that one shot action sequence where we're just watching the hallway scene happen. So for an action series, I imagine solo leveling also has some crazy animated or action sequences. Ending number 3 for this video. What's it gonna be? Here we go. Spider! This is Undead Unluck, right? Oh, I love that guitar. Oh, look at those clouds. I feel like we saw those in one of the openings or the ending as well. Those stars. Oh, this is fun. Snow falling. That is the girl. We saw her in an ending, I think. I love his face. He just looks so goofy. Aww. Closing the book on this chapter, perhaps? That was a really fun ending right there. This is Undead Unluck's second ending, Nothing Can Challenge This Love by OKAMOTO'S, who did Gintama Opening 16. The visual style is by Taiki Kono, who did the same for Undead Unluck's first ending and some of Fire Force's endings, which the Undead Unluck team largely made and will be moving on to the new Final Fantasy season next year. I know that's Fire Force. I haven't seen the Fire Force endings yet, surprisingly. I feel like Fire Force endings get referenced here and there in these videos, so maybe that's something I need to check out so that it's not just referential anymore and it's something that I actually am aware of and that I know. Fire Force endings are kind of great. Yeah, I've heard. I might have to check out those Fire Force endings. I did catch that this was the same kind of style as the first ending. It's obvious during shots like the one in the snow. I guess like the back of our main character's head here, I don't remember his name. And then shots like these. Like this looks like a shot out of the first ending, I guess you could say. I think that it's really, really pretty. I love this kind of art style where it's got like super light outlines, I guess, and almost like it's just the colors, but it's the backgrounds, while not being the most detailed, are also very detailed. Like, I don't know how you would describe this kind of art style, but it's very detailed while also not being the most detailed. It's a really interesting kind of style, but it looks so good. Fuko and Andy are our main characters, to jog the memory. Gotcha. I don't know why I was going to call him David, so I'm glad I didn't. I don't know why the name David was in my head. David Production, of course. Yeah, duh, naturally. Who made the series? Okay, that's probably what it is then. I had David Production in my head. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll say that's what it was. The shots of our main character Fuko staring at a spider, I'm not really sure what that would represent, apart from, being caught in like some sort of web. Maybe she's stuck in like this web and she's just staring at this spider who's created the web. She's behind it. The whole time that it's showing that web, she's on the other side of it. The way that this is just laid out, it's a really touching ending right here. Like, it's really interesting because it's showing a lot of moments of quiet reflection, but this song, like for the first half, it's just real kick-ass in your face, like real head thumping, and just get into the groove. It's really also like, I never said it, but it's really nice to get back to Undead Unluck. I wasn't expecting this to be in this video. I thought it was all going to be endings from yesterday's video, from the series that we checked out yesterday. So this was a surprise to me, but it's a welcome surprise. I'm really glad that we were able to check this out. Absolutely like incredible ending here. It's one that had a lot of life behind it, and these, like this star shower sort of thing, or star shower, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but this star shower Shara's Nabble across the sky. We have seen it maybe in everything that I've seen for the series so far. It was probably in an opening. I feel like it was definitely in the ending, the first ending, and now we're seeing it again. I can actually picture the shot in the first ending that we did see the star shower, so it leaves me curious about the actual importance of this. I guess it's not really just something that they use for show. It's something that actually legitimately has purpose and importance in this world for the lore of this series. I wonder if it's kind of like this meteor shower that crashes down and maybe does a lot of harm. I don't know if it's somehow related to how Andy initially died. I think that's the whole gimmick, that he died and came back or something, right? Maybe this is somehow related. Maybe this is kind of like, I don't know if anyone here has seen the TV show from way back when, Heroes, where some people in the world get powers when there's an eclipse. Maybe this star shower kind of is similar in the sense that it gives some people these special powers or these special gifts. I'm just throwing ideas at the wall, and I'm hoping something sticks here because there's obvious importance here that I'm not gathering. Fugo is adorable. I love her beanie. I love her hat that says good luck on it. Undead Unluck, you know, of course. She's got a really cool design. I love the kind of outfits that they wear. And as soon as she sees Andy, it shows the web again, and this time she's not behind it. And we see the seasons transition behind the web. We see that there's still this web, these this perhaps machinations that they're a part of, but at the same time she might have been able to escape that when she saw him. So whatever it is that she's going through, or whatever it is that's holding her back, she is able to overcome that or get away from that through the other main character of Andy, because as soon as it shows him, it shows the web again, and she's no longer behind it, which is a change up from the beginning of this ending. I did also hear great things about the series, by the way. When I was checking out an opening and ending for it, a lot of people were really supporting this series and suggesting that if I'm looking for a new series to read, to maybe check this one out. Yeah, that's exactly what a lot of people were saying, that it's very underrated and that it's ending soon. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I hope it isn't true, because it sounded like a lot of people were disappointed by the fact that it kind of just seemed to speed run towards an end really suddenly. I don't know how true that is. Seeing the shots of the snow here, it is so pretty, and I really like this kind of sponge painty style, almost like with this really grayish white, like I don't know what kind of color this would be, but it's like an off-white color in the background with the snow falling. It really just gives a sense of unease, because the color of the sky, it's kind of giving this sense of like this looming danger perhaps. And then we see these two characters. I assumed the girl on the left, the one with the big ass sword and the long hair, I would have thought that she was maybe like an antagonistic character in the series. That's how it looked in the first ending anyway, but in this ending right here, it looks very touching. Like there's a lot here that suggests there's more than what met the eye in the first ending, and that there's a lot of depth to these characters. The guy on the right does look very like Andy, actually, I would say. I don't know if it's just the way the manga author drew guys' faces. Like, I don't know if that's the case, but the facial structure and even the way the hair is, despite the way his hair, the fact his hair has these much longer parts to it, he looks very similar. So I would question whether this is a brother or some kind of relative at all. Bro has old shonen hair. So yeah, that's my guess there, that she is maybe the antagonist, but at the same time, she does not look antagonistic at all. She looks like she doesn't look like she's a bad person. in this ending at least anyway, like she looks like she's being consoled. Like that hand that he has on hers kind of suggests that she's got so much depth to her, and there's a lot more than meets the eye. And I just kind of hope that that's maybe true, and that we get to like see that. The fact that they're in this kind of cold location, the stone as well as the destroyed stone, suggesting like there's chaos and destruction behind them, but in front of them is like this cold landscape. Like they're traversing this cold unknown land. I just really love his design. He just looks like a goofy guy, this big bar sticking out of his head. I still don't know what it's supposed to be, but he just looks so fun. I guess they work for an agency. They're both wearing uniforms. They both had the same symbol, like this U with a line through it. And then she closes the chapter, she closes the pages or the book on that chapter of the story, and she's smiling, and that's how the ending ends. And it's a really beautiful ending. It's a really beautiful series by the looks of things. The ending itself was incredible. I loved the transition in the song, like when, like this part right here, where it just became a lot more somber, it became a lot more touching and meaningful, and it felt like suited perfect for meeting these characters then, because it looks like they're going through a lot. And yeah, what a great time this ending was. I'm so glad we were able to return to Undead Unluck and check this out. But I think now we might be ready to move on to the next ending, which will be ending number 4 for this video. So let's see what it is that we get. Alright, here we go. Ending number 4. What's it gonna be? Another banger, no doubt. I recognize those boots. Also in 3D, like the opening was. Grunty, what are you doing? You don't need to perform anymore. This is really fun. Love a good dancing opening or ending. Not the J-pop dance or K-pop dance. Not transitioning into the good guys, the heroes. This is so fun. What's happening in the background? Big moon. Oh, they're all dancing together now. Oh shit. Oh, that was so good. This is Ranger Rejects ending, or Go-Go Loser Rangers ending. Don't Need the Right Answer by Akari Nanawo. In terms of fun endings, this is ticking all the boxes. They created their own dance. It's very K-pop dance-esque, I would imagine. I'm just thinking of TikTok dancers doing this dance. The whole the visual of it, it's very fun. Getting to see the grunts dancing with the heroes dancing too. The fact that it transitions into them several times between the grunts and the heroes kind of just goes to back up the point of the fact that the heroes might not actually be the good guys here. It's transitioning between the heroes and the grunts. It's raising this ideal or this idea of the fact that the good guys are not necessarily the ones that look like the heroes. You know, it's kind of like you were saying yesterday about the boys being comparable. The heroes do some real shady shit and they're not exactly like the good guys all the time. This ending kind of really matched that vibe by showing the transition between the heroes and the grunts, to show that they both do things differently, they both look different, but one isn't necessarily good while the other is bad. They both do good things, they both do bad things. It's just really kind of morally grey perhaps for both sides. Maybe they're both kind of like bad, but one maybe outdoes the other in terms of being just real nasty assholes. I guess in that sense you can maybe compare this to Gundam, where it's got this question of, you know, are there good sides or not? You know, know, are there any good sides because they both do bad things. Seeing the different looks of the different rangers here was cool too, because their masks are all very different. You know, some of them, their visors are different, the stripes and the way that their uniforms or outfits look are all different, which I feel like is pretty different. I feel like normally for series like these, the only difference that separates them is the color, opposed to actually having different designs for each of the outfits as well. I wonder if the stripes that go down their chest or the different segments for the connection there indicate their rank. So rank 1 is red guy who's out in front because his is all just solid color. Rank 2 would be the blue one in the back right. Rank 3 would be yellow in the back left. Rank 4 would be green front left, and then rank 5 would be the pink one in the far right in the front. I'm only basing that off of the different segments in the stripes alone. In terms of like visuals, I'm so glad they continued to keep this 3D look, because this 3D look is incredible. I love a good opening or ending that is in 3D. Like some of the coolest openings are the JoJo openings, and especially the ones that are done in 3D. Those openings are so fun, so good, and they just look great. And this one really just stands alongside it, the opening and ending for this, because they were both in 3D, and it really just gives it a unique look and a unique feel and this really fluid look and sense to it. And then this transition into our main character, I would assume Grunt D, can't remember his name, kind of doing like this cool guy stance on the chair, you know, like he doesn't care, he's just there doing his thing. It's reminding me of the shot that you see in Kingdom Hearts of Sora on the chair, just kind of like with his hand like this. I know it's not exclusive to Kingdom Hearts, I know that it was done before, but that's what it reminds me of. Also, speaking of Gojo, well, not speaking of Gojo at all, we got Gojo here, this red ranger right here, playing the bad guy. Wonder what that's about. What's his deal? I just think that this would be a really fun series to watch. I don't know if it's like a popular series or if it's one that people just enjoyed. Like it might have just been kind of seen as a good little seasonal anime series, but I would love to hear more opinions about this. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the series. It just screams fun. I love the visuals and the kind of way I was able to analyze the opening. The ending here, there's not as much to analyze, but the song was insanely fun. Akari Nanawo did an amazing job here with the song. The animators just made this so fun and just made it stand out alongside so many other endings. Oh, jump scare, I didn't mean to press play there. Holy shit, I scared the shit out of myself. It really does just seem like the sort of series that would be a lot of fun to check out. It seems like a really interesting premise, and I just love to know how this actually plays out, opposed to kind of just theorizing how it plays out. I would love to say more about it because I love the song. I love the energy, intensity, and everything that she brought to it. It really had this kind of like same kind of beat. Let me hear it again a little second. Like, yeah, this one didn't have the Jersey style beat to it, but it still had like that high energy that was in the opening for this series. For having that much energy in the opening, I would have maybe thought that the ending would have been a much slower one, but no, they brought so much energy to this as well. And I'm glad that they did, because it's an absolute treat. It was so fun and it was an absolute joy to check out. But I do think I might be ready to already move on to ending number 5 here. Sadly, it's because there wasn't as much to analyze from this ending. I do see like what looks like spaceships in the sky there. I guess that's maybe where the grunts came from or something. I don't know, like the invaders, who knows. Let us check out ending number 5. These 5 endings have been insane so far, so yeah, let's see what we get in this next one. Okay. I'm so bored recently. She got a bunch of suitors, is that the point here? Oh no, don't like that. Just saying no. I remember in the opening, she was being disturbed, or was she? This is fun. Not the moe moe. And everyone just like falling for her. Holy shit. Flying? The man on the moon? The magic carpet? There he is! It's the genie! I'm slaying lately. Those lyrics are hilarious. To be the real. To be the real what? I need to know the last word. This is Bucchigiri's ending, Love Jitem by Mahiru Coda. The ending was storyboarded by series creator slash director Hiroku Utsumi, who did Free, Banana Fish, and Skate Infinity. You wouldn't know it yourself, but this ending is aesthetically reminiscent of a quite famous ending of Free. Yeah, no, I'm not familiar, but I feel like this kind of style is just really fun. And I remember that there was a scene during the opening for Bucchigiri where the main character, I guess, and the girl character were kind of coming face to face, and then people got in the way and disturbed them and kind of broke that up. So that makes it really interesting, and it gives me this different idea now that instead of them just being meddlers that aren't necessarily out to do like out for malicious reasons, maybe they're actually trying to get in the way and break up this kind of romance before it can even begin, because she looks to be someone who is being presented to a lot of different suitors and she's saying no to every one of them. And anytime this guy shows up, everyone kind of shoves him out of the way, hides him in the background, covers his mouth, and just doesn't let him do his thing. So I feel like maybe that's kind of what it's telling us here, that she's kind of someone who's stuck in the middle of all this drama and all this shit that she doesn't want to be involved in, and that her knight in shining armor, if you want to put it that way, is someone that she's not really able to see because everyone keeps shoving her away. It's a really, really aesthetically pleasing opening. It's stunning, it's beautiful. It reminds me of, I would almost say the look of this is reminding me of the Apothecary Diaries. I feel like that's mostly because of the eyes. The eyes are absolutely gorgeous. I love how the eyes look and everything, and flowy garments that they're wearing, I guess, are reminding me of like Apothecary Diaries. I know that's absolutely not fair to compare the what they're wearing because they're two different cultures and two different styles of clothing, but at the same time the look of the faces and eyes are just really, they're making me think of like that series in particular. That hand on the wall thing was a meme for couples to do in Japan like a decade ago. Oh really? That's really funny. I feel like I've seen stuff like that before, but it's just kind of been like out of context, I guess, so I wasn't aware of that. But maybe this is a piece of internet history, internet culture, I guess. The whole bit with the love beam resurfaced a month or two ago on Japan on Twitter as a meme too. Really? Kabidon meme, is that where it originated? The moe beam is just pure fun. I love the way that this was done here because she just exudes love and so many people are falling for her and they can't help it, you know, like the backgrounds of them just like screaming as their hearts are pulsing because of her is just really, really funny. It's a hilarious concept and a hilarious scene right here. I do really think this is really funny. And then it's once this other, like, is this like another genie that shows up? She kind of snaps out of the whole moe beam thing and she goes in her flying carpet all the way to the moon and sees the red one. And yeah, the love shot, moe beam. Speaking of moe shots, Pinecino recently, when we were doing Ranma, and I was like, oh, Dandadan reference. Yeah, maybe there's also a little something there too. Yeah, Dandadan is literally just a little culture plate or petri dish for a bunch of different references and things that came before it. So it's just really cool seeing stuff like this as well. The moe shot is obviously iconic across a bunch of different series, and it's just a really fun ending right here. The song, let me hear it a little bit again. It really just has this swingy feel to it at points, but at other points it's got this really energetic feel. So it's just really, really fun ending. And I think that as a whole, it's got great ideas. You know, it really presents these different ideas and it tells a story throughout. First of all, it's an ending about this female character opposed to the the main character, I would guess. The male character, I would assume, is the main character. He's the character we saw throughout the entire opening. So I would guess that she's either co-main, a main character, or a supporting character who has a lot of importance. She's the probable love interest, and the fact that this ending is about her and it focuses on her, I think is really cool. That's one of my favorite things about endings, honestly. The fact that a lot of times endings will focus on a different character. They'll focus on potentially a side character or a character that has a lot of importance during the arc that is being shown as a whole. The visuals, the style, the song, everything, the animation was just pure fun and really just made the series stand out even more than it already was. It really just looks like a series that is a lot of fun for anyone to check out here. Utsumi's target audience with all her series are typically women. Okay. Mahiru Coda did an amazing job here with the opening. I wonder if this, would you call this series like harem-esque then, in the sense that there are a bunch of different suitors, but there's one that is probably the main suitor here? I don't know. It's a bit more BL light. Okay. I had a great time with the opening and the ending for this series. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the series in the comments below. I love the look of it. I love these character designs as well. The character designs look so fun. And yeah, having a series like this just sounds like such a fun one. And yeah, I think now I am ready to move on to the next ending, which would be ending number 6. Let's see what we get in the next one. All right, here we go. Ending number 6 for this video. Okay. Is this Bang Bang Bravern again? He's singing. That's so cute. I love it. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just like, I love it. I love this. Oh no, okay. Okay, now yeah, I'm starting to laugh. This is so dramatic. Oh, this is so fun. Not the focus on the... Warm bonds. Ooh. Enemies to lovers, perhaps? Are they gonna stare into each other's eyes and sing? Oh, this was such a fun ending. This was so different from the opening for this series. This is so Broadway. This was so... I don't know if Bang Bang Bravern is actually yaoi or boys love, or if this was just pure bait right here, but this was such a fun series to check out. The two main characters, I love the idea that if anyone was watching my opening reaction to Devilman Crybaby or my episode reactions to Devilman Crybaby, I did reference a few times the whole concept of enemies to lovers, or lovers to enemies, I guess. This one definitely felt like it was presenting this idea of enemies to lovers, and I think that's really funny because I've not really seen anything like that, but I know that it's a trope that people throw around here and there and that it has been used in other series, but it's not one that I've seen before. This is Bravern's ending, Portrait of Twin Flames. They're twin flames, I'd say, by Isami and Smith, the two main characters. Probably Bravern's most notable component is that there's a very prominent gay relationship in it. I did not gather that from the opening whatsoever. The opening had them almost like pitted against each other, and they were like kind of apart from each other most of the opening, I would say. So the ending just focusing entirely on that, it was really actually, I can't think of the word. I'm glad that the ending itself focused on that a lot, to the point that when it's mentioned, others that know of it go, oh, is that the gay one? You'd say both plays it up for laughs, considering one side of it is a giant robot and it's ultimately sincere. You weren't lying that when the mecha needs his pilot inside him, stat. Oh god, that's really interesting. Yeah. Not the whole mecha needs him inside him, with it being a sentient robot. That's honestly giving a new lease of the concept of, you know, piloting, being inside the cockpit. I don't know. Ugh. It kind of blindsided people starting with this ending, really. I love it though. I think that that's really cool. I did check out the Witch from Mercury openings recently. Within that series, one of my favorite things is that it kind of has this Yuri relationship, and it's something that's very new for Gundam. It's something that, as far as I know anyway, it's very new for Gundam and wasn't really present in any of the prior series. But at the same time, what do I know, hey? So now that we're getting to see another mecha series play with that idea with a yaoi relationship this time, that's really cool. I think that fans of mecha perhaps hopefully welcome this idea because it's a fresh take, it's a fresh idea that maybe wasn't present prior to this. I know, Pinecino, you did say that I've seen a bunch of the other Gundam openings, so therefore I have seen yaoi, but I feel like you were saying that as a joke. I don't know, I don't think you were saying it literally, but at the same time, I don't actually know. So seeing an actual series that does focus on the yaoi aspect is honestly pretty cool. Genis is kind of all over the genre. Also the aforementioned Eva. Yeah, getting the mecha Shinji. It may be, but at the same time, like I put in those thumbnails or those titles for the videos when I do check out Gundam openings, I am a mecha noob. I know nothing about mecha. I have only seen Neon Genesis Evangelion. I feel like at this point, I can talk a little bit about mecha because I've seen so many of the Gundam openings, but I know that Gundam isn't the only mecha series out there. I have seen some other openings for mecha series, but that doesn't make me an expert, and that means I'm still very much a noob when it comes to this stuff. I do really like that this does have a yaoi gay relationship, boys love relationship, but at the same time, I kind of wish it wasn't really played for laughs. But at the same time, like, I'm glad that they're able to like joke about it, just because they're focusing on something that is a very important topic doesn't mean they have to be serious about it all the time. They can like make jokes about it, but I hope that it's not played entirely for jokes and entirely for laughs, to the point where the poignancy of the fact that they do love each other kind of falls flat. Like you did mention that it does have two sides to it, the sincere side and also the jokey side. So I hope that that sincerity kind of shines through and has a lot of poignant moments and moments that you can really just pinpoint. I love that it does. It's a really cool aspect of the series, one that I was not expecting from the opening at all. I thought from the opening or the ending, the way this started, that it was just like continuing that silliness of having the main character singing, and I thought that it would then transition into the robot singing, perhaps the mecha. Like, I thought that it was just going to show a bunch of characters singing. I did not expect it to transition into this Broadway look that, you know, you mentioned, Starry, where it looks like they're on a stage singing to one another, the lights shining down on them. They are the main focus. They are the center stage right now, and they are it. You know, they're singing to one another, they're holding hands, and they are just really singing their hearts out. And the lyrics, who will you fight with? If protecting while abandoning oneself, while existing, shine warm bonds. Is it to melt together? It's really just telling the story of these two loving one another and what they will do for their love. So I think that that's like honestly one of my favorite things about this ending, honestly, like this series in general. I loved the unique take on the series, you know, bringing back Rule of Cool style mecha opposed to, you know, the rail mecha genre. So I love that this kind of brought it back. The opening made it look very silly and it stood out as this like funny kind of mecha series. I don't know if there's really many like it. So now to learn that there's also this yaoi aspect, it's really cool. It just sounds like it has so many different ideas that I can't imagine it's a series that everyone can't find something that they like in. It just seems like that kind of series. The whole enemies to lovers thing as well is just really hilarious. You said ultimately sincere. Okay. Let us move on to ending number 7 and see what we get. Girls Band Cry is back. Ooh. Oh, I really like this framing and everything in this style. Reaching out, conducting perhaps? Aww. Oh, the band. What's the snake doing there? This is adorable. Aww. You will not be all on your own. I'm Nobody by Togenashi Togeari. That was adorable. That was so cute. So first of all, the art style, it's reminding me of like something I've seen before and I can't quite place it. I really do love the kind of like the way it's moving, like the framing and everything, and being in this like kind of marker looking style, and just the way that the backgrounds are done, the way that framing is done. Like it's really present in these shots right here when they're moving down, because they're 2D against a 2D background, but they look 3D. Like they look like there's an extra dimension there that they're popping out. It's really, really hard to describe. I guess it's because they're coming out of these borders, so it's making it look 3D. Maybe that's what's giving it that effect, but the detail and the look of everything is absolutely insane. Oh, look, she's picking out the CD. Is that their band? Or no, that's the Stardust group. What is it? Diamond Dust? I wonder what's up with them. If that's like a previous group that led nowhere, and this character here with the, I guess you would call it dirty blonde hair, was in that group and they broke up and she's lost a lot of faith and belief in herself perhaps. The 2D art style is so ridiculously high quality. The file size for this opening was the largest by a country mile. Holy shit. For that, it looks incredible. It looks really, really good. I'm glad we were able to include this today. There's not a single bad thing I have to say about this ending. I don't want to start like, you know, fan wars or anything, but like it's hard to compare this to some of the other endings that we have checked out, because I feel like in terms of like what was the best ending of the year, a lot of that comes down to personal enjoyment, you know, personal preferences, but also attachment. So this is one that I feel like after episode 1, that's it. I'm attached to this ending and I love it. This is an ending that I'm going to think about. Whereas an ending like Solo Leveling, that's just an insane ending that is incredible. Like I love that ending so much, and it's one that someone like me can just watch for the first time and just be like, holy shit, what is this series? I need to know more. But also it's one that you would look forward to when an episode ends. So you know, it's like two completely different things that it's hard to compare, but for the fields that they are and for what they did each, they both excelled incredibly. This one is what we're talking about now, so I'm going to talk about it, but there's just so much in this ending that it's hard to pause it at a single frame to talk about, because there's just every single frame there's something new, there's something different happening. Like we're learning stories about the relationships that these characters have, how they act, how they react to one another, the kinds of people that they are. The girl with the flannel jacket on that pulls the blue jacket girl out of the way and throws her into the back so that she can sit at the front. Like she just looks like a really goofy, happy-go-lucky character. Girl who's driving the car looks like she's kind of like down and sad a lot. Like even in this middle frame right here, this second one when we're going down, she's looking down like she's got no faith in herself. She's got no belief. She just looks like she's kind of beat up by life. The pink jacket girl just looks like she's your typical rich girl who gets what she wants and who doesn't have time for jokes and fun. She's just very serious, I guess. The black haired one with the bit that goes up, I don't really have a read on her from these 3 panels right here. She just looks like she's kind of like maybe the one that grounds everyone, unless maybe the one with the blue jacket is the one that grounds them. They both give me the same vibe. They both look like they're just kind of like fun people to be around and that they're there to do their thing, you know? So that's, I guess, analysis on the characters. That's the first time I really paused to focus on them. I didn't really do that during the opening, but the ending focusing so much on different parts of like, you know, music, you know, it's showing drums, it's showing like phones, iPods, whatever they are. They're thinking about music a lot. They're looking looking and playing along to music from CDs. Even like this girl's t-shirt says drums on it, so I wonder which instrument she plays. But she's also a gamer, so you know, we love that about her. If she's the only gamer, then she's the best character, you know, that's just how it is. This girl who I was like, yeah, she seems like she's the really fun character. Funnily enough, she's the one who in these openings looks a lot classier than the rest. I don't know really, that's kind of thrown me, because I thought honestly she would be one that just like does a lot of fun stuff, but she's sitting here very classy, reading a book, drinking her coffee, and sitting at a computer with neck support and back support, and she looks like she's got good posture. Not that that's important, but it's kind of thrown off my theory that she's the kind of silly one and the one that's goofy and loud and not obnoxious, but that kind of like bubbly personality. The blue jacket is the MC, and she's a big troublemaker. Actually, really, I would not have gathered that from what I'm seeing here at all. The reaching out, the way she's got her hands, it could either be that she's imagining playing keys on a keyboard, or she's conducting. Picture oh my god, what's his name from Hunter x Hunter, where he goes to the roof and starts conducting? Crollo, yes, Crollo. Jeez, I had C in my head, like, I don't know. I don't know why I was like thinking Cleorio, and I was like, it's not Cleorio. Leorio is his own character, so yeah, thank you for that. I don't know if she's picturing playing keys or conducting, but she's probably someone who has a history in classical music, maybe. These shots right here, like, look at the detail, look at everything. These shots are incredible. This show looks so detailed. This is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the most stunning endings I've maybe ever seen. The character designs, the way they dress themselves, everything about it just looks so cool. I really like the way the girl with the faded green jacket dresses herself, you know, like the Joker. I'm the Joker, baby. The choker, first of all, it's like a cool look. Obviously the ear accessories that she's got on, and just like the way she dressed herself, like, it does kind of give off this vibe of she's got no confidence, I guess, because she overdresses herself. Like, there's not really any skin showing at all, but also she just looks cool. She has this really cool look, and I love it. Also cats, so we love that. There's so much shoved into this ending that it would be hard to analyze everything. I also love the shots where it's like them going on tour and, you know, focusing on every single thing. Like, she's behind the wheel, everyone's with her, she starts to like drive, you know, she pulls the gear stick, she slams her foot down on the pedal, and then we see every single thing that she is looking at and that relates to driving the car or the van, and then we see it zooming off and zooming through the skies as it rides this wave of color, and it's absolutely stunning. It's so incredibly well done, and I think that in terms of creativity and beauty and endings, this has to be in the conversation for sure for one of the best that at least I've ever seen. I don't know if, you know, there are many more like this. This just seems so unique to me. In a sense, it's reminding me a little of endings like maybe the Bocchi the Rock ending that we checked out, because, you know, it had that art style almost, but at the same time, the Bocchi the Rock ending was nothing like this. It didn't have as much detail, but I think, you know, it's fair enough to maybe compare the two, because they are both series about creating bands, making music, and the endings have similar enough premises that you know, you could compare the two. And I think in terms of visuals alone, this one far surpasses the Bocchi ending, but the songs are both incredible, so I'm not going to try and compare the songs because it'd be really hard to compare them. That would be like almost an impossible task. This is a series that has been very much been classified as a post-Bocchi series. Yeah, I can see that absolutely. This is Girl Band's Cries ending I'm Nobody by Togenashi Togeari, the MC's band. There's a lot of girl band shows nowadays all of a sudden. I love that, and I can't wait to see more, because the way these series all have the main group's band make the openings and endings just gives those openings and endings so much more personality, because you can kind of derive from the lyrics how characters are feeling, what they're going through and stuff like that, and it really just gives us more of an insight into the shows and the characters themselves, because a lot of times, you know, you do get endings or openings that are made for the shows, but the lyrics, you know, they're kind of vague, or they kind of have aspects of things, but like when it's written by the writers of the series and sung and played by the bands in the series, there's more meaning behind the lyrics, I feel like. And this one is one that's very much about being alone and finding acceptance in that. And that's kind of like sad, honestly. I feel like it's very fitting for the beginning of the series, maybe, but by the end, I would hope that this ending, hear me out, okay? I'm going to say something that maybe sounds crazy, but I would hope that by the end of this series, or maybe there's two endings, I don't know, but by the end of this, when this ending plays anyway, I hope that this ending, at least in terms of the lyrics, feel redundant in the sense that they're no longer alone. They have each other, and that's a lot. That's almost enough for them to have people around them that mean a lot to them, and to have meaning and purpose and something that they love and long to do. They actually do have a few endings for the series. Most of them are performances in the show that bleed into become the ending of that episode. That's so cool. That's like such a unique idea and premise, and I really love that. I don't know if it's the kind of case where there's an ending for every episode like with Chainsaw Man, but to have like them be performing and then it just to bleed into the ending where you're getting to see maybe visuals like this or credits, whatever it happens to be. That is such a fun idea, and I really love that so much, and I hope that that translates the same fun way that I can envision that, or that I am thinking about it. So I'm guessing then that means that a lot of episodes end with them performing, which is funny because that reminds me of, like, this is a complete out of left field pull right here, but ending an episode with a performance reminds me of Twin Peaks The Return. Not Twin Peaks, but Twin Peaks The Return. There was a musical performance at the end of every episode, and it was a really fun, like, it was a fun thing. You knew an episode was going to end in that way. Well, not every episode, but nearly every episode. It was just fun because, like, you knew that's how it was going to end. Again, the episode's kind of like a structure, uniformity that you could like follow, and you knew that it was leading up to the end, and therefore you could start to like wind down. And I feel like shows that have a structure, it's just kind of like fun for me because it clues me in when something's ending, because there's nothing worse than watching a series, really getting invested in an episode, and then it to just end like that. Like an episode, maybe even the whole season, just ends on a nasty, dirty cliffhanger. I love a good cliffhanger, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, it's just like the worst feeling when you don't know the ending is coming because the episode has just flown by so fast, and then it just ends because you hear the ending. So the idea of this working the way that that does, it really intrigues me, and it really stands out as something that I would like personally. Many such cases. Well, yeah, I'm not really familiar with series that do this kind of thing, but this is really cool to me, and I do love that. I don't know if I'm going to go by this frame by frame much longer because it's kind of a lot of imagery and a lot of the same beautiful art style. I think that the ending here, if this is how I thought it was, where this character on the left of this phone screen here is the character that we see that wears the choker now and everything, if that's the same character and she was in this older band, you know, Diamond Dust, I think it's a really cool transition to show the way that it goes from showing that band to the new one where they're all together. Not all of them are smiling, but they're listening to their new music and the background is of them all together. And I think it's a really beautiful ending for this series, and I think that the story and the way that it was being told throughout this ending was so heartwarming. It was touching. The song was incredible. I loved it. Togenashi, Togeari, great job. I would love to hear more of their music from this series. Honestly, I know that it's chock full of music. It's a music series, so I would love to hear more of it. But yeah, I'm now going to move on to the next ending, which will be ending number 8. So let's see what we get to follow this insane ending up. Here we go. Ending number 8. What'll it be? Oh. Oh, I love the sound of this. Okay. This is stunning. Holy shit. Is that a tail? Oh, I love the little twinkles in the background. Is that a xylophone? What a bird. Oh, okay. I thought that was a tail, but I think it's just the coat tails or something. This is so good. They're traversing this world, which looks insane. Oh. Singer's voice is insane. Oh, that was beautiful. One thing I loved right off the bat was the kind of like almost 80s, what's that thing called, like the synth. Yeah, why could I not think of synth? My mind was going insane there. I was like synth. Thank you, Pinecino. That 80s synth sound is just like, it's a sound that I love because like I grew up listening to 80s music. That's the music that my parents listened to, and that's what I grew up with. So like that kind of sound just like really, it's a sound that I love, and just hearing that in a 2024 opening really just like grabbed my attention immediately. I didn't recognize that this was Metallic Rouge until we saw this character, because I remember her design very well because I loved her character design. I thought I loved the way her hair was done. I loved her face, and one thing I loved about her as well is that like she looked like she kind of like stood for business. You know, I think she held herself really well, and so like I remember her character design very well. I guess I did a bad job of remembering the titular character, if you will, how she looked, and I guess not being able to see the actual like color of her, you know, it's just kind of like this stylized version maybe just didn't make her stand out to me as much. This is Metallic Rouge's ending, Scarlet, by Dazbee. This ending is storyboarded by Motonobu Hori, the director of the series, and Carol and Tuesday. I think his shared style between the two shines most prominently in the style of the backgrounds. Yeah, the Carol and Tuesday opening was so beautiful. It's one of like the openings that I think about the most, funnily enough. It's an opening that I think about a lot because that opening was so stunning, so beautiful. The song, the singers, that like everything about it was just incredible. And so seeing that present again here, like you said, it's very prominent and obvious from the backgrounds, more so than anything here, really just stands out and shines and makes this ending so unique. And it goes to show that Rouge really just follows this other main character, like wherever she'll go. She leads her through so many different landscapes, like all like this looks, it's in a city which looks futuristic and looks very expansive, not run down, I guess, whereas then we see them transition slowly into like more rundown areas, and that's like their goal. They're going to the areas that look destroyed, run down, and maybe forgotten about. And I wonder if that's kind of related to their stories with one another or their goals, if they're kind of like trying to go back to the past or something. Like, I'm not entirely sure. Dazbee is a Korean singer. The backgrounds look so stunning. It's funnily enough, like the way it's like industrial, and we see like shots like these, it's reminding me of, I don't know which it was because we checked out like 3 or 4 of them, but it's reminding me of one of the endings for Dorohedoro. Had like these kind of same, it was the second ending, yeah, it had the same kind of like industrial look with them in the back, like they're in the background, they're not like really in the forefront, and you see these huge massive buildings that they're walking past. So this ending really reminded me of that a lot, the second ending for Dorohedoro. But that's great because that ending for Dorohedoro was a really fun one to check out. The ending for this was absolutely incredible as well. She debuted in 2011 at the age of 15, holy shit, with a mashup cover of Panda Hero x Matryoshka and D32 under the name Dazkin. Due to some confusion between her and a Japanese manufacturing company with a similar name, she later changed her name to Dazbee in early 2012 with the upload of her cover of Paranoia. That's really cool. Being so talented that you debut at the young age of 15 is absolutely mind-blowing to me. When I was 15, I was playing Call of Duty and staying up late and sleeping through school. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how people have so much talent like that they can do things like this. She started YouTube, now she's got a big studio. I love that. That's a really great story of growth, I guess. Like that story of success, I guess. And yeah, she deserves all the credit in the world for everything here. Like this ending, her voice. I'm gonna play a little section again. That is such, she has got a beautiful voice. I love that she kind of, I don't know if she does this in all her songs, but it's almost like she's, I don't know if this will make sense, but like a whisper sing where she keeps her voice down so that she can kind of like sound really, like have this emotional sound. Like it really sounds really touching, and it really sounds, it's just it's a great ending. I'm glad that this one was included for sure. Ado also started off that way. I would never have known. I really don't know any Ado music at all. Have I even checked out any of her music on the channel? I know she did music in One Piece Film Red, but I have not seen One Piece Film Red. Ado still does covers these days. That's crazy. Her voice is known for being soft and fluttery. That's a great way to put it, honestly. Yeah, soft and fluttery is absolutely true. I love this voice. I'm honestly interested in hearing more of the stuff that she's done. Oh, Ado did the OP for Spy Family's second season. That's right. I think that was the only time I've seen like an actual Ado opening. So yeah, that's cool. I don't know which I prefer in this. Like, I know a lot of the times, like, I talk about the visuals more than the song itself. That's because I like to analyze the visuals, but in this one, I feel like the visuals don't really have as much going on. Like, they are beautiful. The drawings, the illustrations are incredible. And I love this art style so much, and it looks amazing. But at the same time, like, the singer's voice for me really was the main focus of this. I was just blown away by her, and I hope she gets more anime openings, endings, whatever it happens to be, because I want to hear more from her. I want to hear her voice in more anime because she brings a really unique sound that I haven't really heard before. Other than that, what an amazing ending. It's a very simple visual ending, but at the same time, it's incredible. It's got a few anime openings. Oh hell yeah. Well, Pinecino, if you want to include some of those down the line, you know, feel free to. We are now ready to move on to ending number 9, I think. Let's see what we get in ending number 9. This is the second to last ending for this video, so let's see what we get in this one. Dungeon Meshi is back with more incredible artwork. The detail in this, the coloration in these is so fun to see. What is happening there? Those blue eyes. Blue eye boy. She does not look happy to be carrying her up the steps. Samurai looks like he hasn't slept or eaten in ages. He looks so gaunt. Oh, did that like focus out and focus on the characters in the background there? Twinkle, twinkle, little star? How I wonder. It does! Okay. Holy shit, that thing is huge! Is that a chicken? They found her! They brought her back! Yay! Spoilers, I guess. Oh, that was so cute. The endings for Dungeon Meshi have been so unbelievably adorable. Like, let me see this. Okay, no, it didn't. I thought for some reason, like, I saw her in high focus, and then I thought as this shot went on, she went out of focus and the character in the background became focused, but no, I was just being dumb. This is Dungeon Meshi's second ending, Twinkling Ash by Regal Lily. Another beautiful ending, and one that really just, yet again, encapsulates that feeling that I imagine Dungeon Meshi brings. Bok bok bok. Chicken feet. Absolutely. The size of that chicken is huge. That thing is scary. What is that? This girl right here, she does not look happy. And she's got those like crazy eyes. But yeah, I guess this shot right here kind of gives away that they do eventually find Laios' sister. It's showing the current crew with her. So yeah, that's a really nice moment. But seeing as well all these different shots of everyone that we probably meet and know and love and grow to appreciate in the series, just seeing them all do their thing, seeing them all kind of like spooked and running away and scared or fighting or whatever it is that they happen to be doing. It's just such a really like nice, fun feeling, and it really just like matches that first ending so well. The second opening as well, I feel like this kind of feels like a good samey vibey one where it's about the camaraderie and it's about the togetherness and coming together and doing your thing and overcoming stuff. I feel like this ending also made me feel that way, but at the same time, the artwork is so good. Like the way the manga creator is able to color lighting, color shadows, and color detail through what looks to be watercolor, like that is crazy. Watercolor is so hard, and so to have that much detail and that much, just to have so much in it is so good. I wonder if this is the samurai guy that we saw in ending 1, because he's not traveling with our group now, and I wonder if that means he got lost or if he left the group because it was too dangerous or something. It looks like here, I can't tell, I don't know if this, let me see, Marcel has, I don't think this is Marcel here at all, because Marcel has the blue shawl around her and she has braids in her hair. She does not have braids in her hair, so I don't think this is her. But it's interesting to see shots like these because the way the characters in the background here have, like, you know, it looks like they're set up. They've got boxes, they got like, looks like some barrels or something, and they got like this whole setup here. I wonder if this is in the dungeon and that these characters that we see with the green shawls over them are characters that are visiting them and they're traveling through the dungeon, because I would suggest that there are, like, I don't know if you would say like civilizations or groups of people that live in these dungeons. And so that's making me think of Maiden Abyss, where we saw in the second opening that there are characters that live in these like areas, like they dive down into the abyss and they find characters that live here. And I feel like this shot especially is kind of giving me that same feeling of characters maybe living in the dungeon, and that these are maybe seen as little safe havens for people who are traveling through the dungeons, maybe something like that. If it's the opposite, that's hilarious. Don't really know much more to interpret from this shot, but seeing shots like these, you know, showing what the show is all about, them sitting around a pot of stew or a big pot of soup, whatever it is, and eating their food. Laios with his notebook, I wonder if that means that he makes notes of all the different foods that they make or something like that. Marcel's just like staring at the soup or stew, whatever it is, just ready to eat, and everyone else is just doing their thing. Senshi's making the food by the looks of things, and little cat person on the left looks to be bullying a mushroom person. I don't know if that thing is alive or not, but I hope it's dead for the sake of the mushroom thing, because they just look like they're playing with it, and that's pretty cruel. Like, that was a living creature and you're just playing with it. Bonfires, oh my god. Safe rooms in Resident Evil. And then seeing then that transition into this shot, because the entire first ending, the entire second ending up until this point was like frames of different shots from the series, like maybe represented from the series, but drawn in the style of the manga author's style with presenting these ideas. But this time we see her style in full screen. It's full, and we're getting Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are, and it pulls down to show Frieren, and she is embracing either the cold or embracing the beauty, the nature, everything. I don't know if maybe this is as soon as she's freed and she's just got her arms out like, wow, this is freedom, like Eren Yeager type shit, you know, freedom. But it's just a really beautiful shot right here, especially with the backdrop and then like her like just kind of like embracing it. It's just a really beautiful shot, and I think it's honestly so touching to see that kind of thing. But then immediately after, we transition to big ass chicken bird feet. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty scary. And then this right here looks like it would be the final page of the manga, honestly. Like, this looks like it's a color page that you would turn the last page and just see this, and it's this really nice send off, and it's like, farewell Dungeon Meshi, or delicious in dungeon if you're a dork, I guess. I feel like that's really all I have to say about this ending. I love the song. It was so beautiful. Like, the instrumentation and the way the singer's voice really just shines through that, really just like ties everything together. It really just, it was so good. Everything's been so good here. Why is everything been so good? It's hard to like pick favorites or anything like that when everything is just this good. But yeah, I think I am now ready to move on to the final ending for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what your favorite ending we checked out today was down below, and let me know what you're maybe excited to see in a future video. And with that said, let us move on to the next final ending and see what it is that we get. All right, here we go. Ending 10. Let's see what we get for this one.
And I'm alright.
Aww.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, the way this is actually animated with this style is stunning. Like the movements. Holy shit. She's at a grave. Aww. Oh, that's real. That's so cool. That's stop motion. That's so cool. There's the butterfly. Oh, ooh. Oh, look at her. That's so cute. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I almost started crying. That was that was a really nice one to end on. My eyes are watery right now. That was a really beautiful ending. Excuse me while I compose myself. Whew, that was stunning. And this is Frieren's ending, Anytime, Anywhere by Milet, who did the Vinland Saga Ending 1, Ranking of Kings Ending 2, and the visuals of the endings were done by Miho Takahashi. That was incredible. I know I've been saying like, oh, it's gonna be hard to pick a favorite, but like this one made me feel a lot, and that's really special. I love when an opening or an ending can move me that much that it makes me feel like these overwhelming emotions that I can't help but hold it in. I know I didn't start bawling right now, but like I was this close. If this ending had been 30 seconds longer, I would have been a mess for sure. Whenever you finish an episode, it would take a long time for you to actually move on to something else because you would just play this ending over and over and over again. It was absolutely stunning. This was incredible. It makes a lot of sense because Milet, who did Vinland Saga's Ending 1, which is also powerful and beautiful, Ranking of Kings Ending 2, which is also powerful and beautiful, and funnily enough, Ranking of Kings Ending 2 had that same kind of like art style maybe that we see at the beginning of this ending, you know, like this kind of look right here. Not the exact same, but similar. So to have her voice over that as well is just like, it's perfect. It's a perfect voice, perfect visuals, everything. And I feel like I actually learned a lot from this ending, funnily enough. I know it didn't show too much, didn't give too much away, but at the same time, we do see Frieren lying down at a gravestone. I was unaware that that's what was happening here. I guess I was just focused on like the animation of her like lying down, which I thought was incredible. This little girl right here, I'm guessing this is the main character. Well, not the main character, I guess co-main character, the one with the purple hair, because we see like little shades of purple here in her hair, but then there's shades of purple in the wood of the tree behind her, so I don't know if that's actually the same. But we see her here, and she's kind of like watching on, so I wonder if she's someone that was entrusted to Frieren, and Frieren has been looking after and raising essentially since she was like a literal little baby, or if this is just kind of showing like two different shots and that they're not related whatsoever to one another. Frieren is in this field and it's really beautiful, whereas this little girl is in an area with all these roots, and it looks kind of scary, especially for a child to be in. So it's kind of like got this really ominous feel almost to it, but then we see the ribbon fly off, which is beautiful. Frieren's still lying there and she falls into the ground. It's almost like she's becoming one with nature, like she's given up at this point. Like, you know, obviously it's a thing that some people say, like when someone passes on, they become one with the earth again. That kind of idea. If anyone's ever played Final Fantasy VII, it's kind of like at the forefront of that entire game, that kind of idea. But seeing her follow this earring that dropped, which looks like a drop of blood, funnily enough, and then we see, I don't know what the eye thing kind of symbolizes. It looks like an eye with petals in it perhaps, but it transitions into a butterfly in this really stunning and beautiful stop motion style, which is really cool because Pinecino knows this because I was talking about it recently. But like during the final stretch of the end of November, I went through and I watched a bunch bunch of Aardman production stuff. Like I watched all of Wallace and Gromit. I watched Chicken Run. So like seeing stop motion here, it's just really cool. It's really well done here considering the budget and everything that they have to do. Like, you know, there's a lot of time that they have to do to make stop motion look good. And I think they did an amazing job here. Seeing the butterfly really just reminds me of that second opening for Frieren where I was theorizing that the blue butterflies represent her old allies that are now sadly probably passed on, especially the guy with the sword. Like that's the one that she seemed to really look towards and really have this relationship with, perhaps. Like it really had a lot of time focusing on those two. So I wonder if the butterfly here is meant to represent him, because everything that we see, the series of events, she lies down at his grave, an earring falls down and turns into this butterfly. So I'm wondering if because like it's under his grave in this box, I don't know if this box is supposed to represent like a coffin or anything like that. It's maybe supposed to symbolize him being reborn and still being with her. So because the lyrics are saying, so just for today, as she runs away trying to find him, perhaps, let me think back on you, my friend. Like it's really beautiful lyrics, really beautiful song in general. But if I found you again, as she misses him, I don't actually know if that's what the butterfly represents. And he goes the other way, she goes one way. If I find you again, and she's transitioned into this other style, almost like I don't know if the ending changing styles is trying to tell us that it's kind of like this kind of love that they have for one another, or that she has for him, that it kind of crosses mediums, boundaries, like it goes beyond anything and everything, that it doesn't matter what style she is in, it doesn't matter what style of world, what is happening, like what genre, anything like that, she still has this love for him, and that's what she's looking out for, and that's what she's trying to find. The little claymation Frieren is so adorable. I love it so much. It's done so well. The way it's integrated, the way it's making it look like she, a 3D figure, is moving through this 2D background is so insane. Like the detail, everything. I wonder if the 2D background was cut out, it's paper, because it kind of looks like you can maybe see parts where it stands out. Like I don't know if you can see my mouse right here, but this looks like it's cut out paper. Down here looks cut out paper as well, these parts down here. So I feel like the way that this was done was that they cut out paper and had her moving through it. And honestly, the creativity to be able to do that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like this is creativity, but make it peak. Like I don't know, it's mind-blowing. It's so good. And the fact that this is how this ending looks, and she's moving towards this flower, which I guess might symbolize the guy character because the butterfly comes to it. So I wonder if that's what it symbolizes, or if maybe this flower is an important object within the series. Maybe he gifted it to her and it meant a lot to her, or something similar to that. And so she reaches this flower and it reminds her of him. But instead, what comes out of that flower when the butterfly reaches it is the female co-main character or supporting character with the purple hair. And she's the one that Frieren is now with, traveling with, training. We see them reading together. Every time we see an opening, the purple hair character is reading and Frieren is standing over her. I imagine the bond that they have is one of the most touching bonds across anime in recent years, because the way this purple haired character is probably the character that brings Frieren back from the brink of nothingness, back from the brink of feeling so much hatred for the world, perhaps, or like just sadness. It's just really touching. And I think that the way this ending told that story was incredible. And yeah, this was a beautiful ending, and I cannot stress enough just how talented Miho Takahashi is for being able to produce this ending. This ending is absolutely insane. I mentioned, I think it was yesterday, I can't remember, I think it was during the opening video that I did for 2024. I think I mentioned that I read Shularoon, which is Girl from the Other Side, a series that had a very unique art style. And this looked exactly like the art style from Girl from the Other Side. That's what I see here, and it is such a beautiful style. It's so well drawn. It reminds me of like an old folklore kind of book, or like something like that with like fairy tales perhaps. It just looks so stunning, and it's beautiful. And also like let's not forget Milet did the song. Like, Milet, what a talent. She is so damn talented that it's not even funny. Like, the talent she has in her little finger is more talent than I have in my whole body. I love that we get to check out these endings that Milet has done. It's really interesting that I've only checked out endings she's done. I wonder if she's done any openings, but anytime she does an ending, you know you're in for an emotional ride. You know you're in for feeling something. And yeah, this ending was so beautiful. I would really rank this very highly. This, the Girls Band Cry, and the solo leveling endings, those are probably my 3 favorites from this video, but every single one has been amazing. I would not be able to pick a favorite from those 3 because I love them all for so many different things. So many different things that it's just almost impossible to pick a favorite from those 3. This was a very stacked list, and I'm glad we were able to check this out. Milet actually did do an opening. I wonder if that's going to come. It was the Demon Slayer Season 3 opening. That's funny. Milet with Man with a Mission. That is so funny. That opening was alright. I wasn't crazy about it, but maybe that's just because I didn't really enjoy the season. I kind of I watched what was it, 4 episodes, 3 or 4 episodes, and then I just took a 4-month break before I went back to it to finish it. This was an absolutely insane list. I'm so glad you were able to check this out. Thank you as always to Pinecino for creating this list, for providing the videos, for providing fan subs where needed, and for also providing the information that we had today. Thank you for stopping by, for checking out the video, everything like that. If you want to be here when I do post one of these, or when I do record one of these on Twitch, follow my Twitch. The link is in the description below. It's twitch.tv/Jazmur, JAZMUR, JZMUR if you're American. And I hope that I can see you here in future. This was honestly one of the most stacked lists I think I've ever done. There wasn't a single one that I'll forget about. Every single one was insane, incredible, amazing. You could use any number of buzzwords. So yeah, I am just going to end it here. The next video you will see on the channel, besides maybe a few miscellaneous videos here and there, the next big one will be the next set of 2024 anime openings. 13 more openings to round out the year. That will be summer and fall of 2024. So look forward to that, and I hope that I will see you in the next one, and I hope that you're having a great day. Take care.